Let's shift focus to the first corporate guest we have invited on the show. Mahendran, Managing Director of Godrej Consumer Products, joins us. Mr. Mahendran, thanks much for joining us. Well, first of all, my question is on really if you've noticed any consumer down trading because of the impact of the drought. Monsoons this year obviously have been weaker than normal. So what's the situation on the ground? Are you beginning to see rural demand trimming in any way, or consumers starting to buy cheaper products?
When you use the word discretionary again, I would say that in FMCG there are impulse categories. Now, certainly the slowdown could have a bearing on impulse category in the coming second quarter, and primarily because of the monsoon, so-called, I would say it's more or less substantially below average. And drought conditions have hit some states in the north and as well as in the south and the west, except the east. The monsoon is in the normal course. So east is okay. But discretionary categories, yes, there could be an impact on that in the second quarter, because you know that overall there's going to be impact on the rural income as well as the surplus disposable income in the rural households could have a bearing on the overall spending or consumption. So
well,
to that extent, yes.
Okay, I take your point. You will probably see the impact in the second quarter. Your first quarter numbers actually are pretty strong, but within the FMCG basket, was there any category in which you already saw some pressure building up?
Not really. We have not seen any slowdown in all the three focus categories. We have not seen any slowdown. The growth rates are pretty good, healthy growth rates.
Mr. Mahendran, good to see you in. Just actually wanted to take Lata's point forward earlier. Just wanted to expand on the fact that whether consumer downtrading has already begun. Could you just throw more light in terms of trends of consumer downtrading, if at all, in certain categories of FMCG products that you're seeing at this point?
On the down trading in certain categories, yes, that's what when in any industry forum we do hear from many players, yes. So that is basically, there are many factors, and that includes the inflationary situation also, and thereby the down trading is there in certain categories. Yes, we have heard that.
Okay, the other point, sir, I actually wanted to touch upon was basically how exactly the inventory and the creditor days have panned out for the industry. Are we actually witnessing any signs of intensifying working capital cycles at this point?
No, not really, no. In the working capital cycle in general, I have not heard or seen within our business any impact on that because of the slowdown or anything like that. So far, no.
Well, Mr. Mahendran, let's look at some other numbers from Q1. This quarter, volume growth across product categories, that is soaps and household insecticides, have outperformed the respective category growth figure, and quite significantly. The only drag actually has been the hair color segment. Are we likely to see any improvement in this segment's performance going forward? Also, is this kind of outperformance in soaps and household insecticides sustainable?
As far as the household insecticide is concerned, we are reporting this healthy growth, double digits plus growth in the last 6 quarters consistently, or even more for that matter. So we don't see any reason why we should have any slowdown in household insecticide as well. Now, if you look at the last 1.5 years, we are also doing pretty well on the soaps segment, growing much ahead of the market growth. As far as the hair color is concerned, yes, because of the base effect, the growth rate reported for us in quarter 1 of this year when compared to quarter 1 of the previous year, that's where we relaunched and we entered into certain innovative products in the hair color in the brand name Godrej Expert, which we launched Godrej Advanced and Godrej Care with the product improvement in those things. So to that extent, the base effect, the growth rate reported in quarter 1 is looks a little bit smaller. But in quarters to come, we will be getting a good growth rate in hair color, and we will be achieving our forecast for the year.
How is inventory looking like before the festive season?
Yeah, my feedback is it is not definitely subdued across categories in the FMCG. Particularly 1.5 months is gone already in the second quarter. So we are not seeing that, and there's a pretty healthy build-up in terms of sales as well as inventory holding and across categories. So we are not seeing anything of that nature at the moment.
Mr. Mahendran, just hold that thought. We have some flashes coming in which would possibly affect GMR Infra at this point in time. Maybe we should pull up that stock for you with regards to a Supreme Court directive on, maybe we should pull up the flash for you as well.
They've asked the AAI as well as government to file
affidavits on DIL and the ADF levy, which is basically the airport development fee. Remember that GMR Infra was quite weak on Friday's trade post the CAG report as well, which was tabled in the Rajya Sabha. So there are some additional flashes coming in which could possibly affect the company. But
it's bad for the company because airport was really the biggest contributor in all their segments. Power is not done too well. So any impact on airports can be bad.
Yeah, to file affidavits at this point in time. But Mr. Mahendran, just coming back to the conversation then, just wanted to touch upon the export business. This quarter in particular, the export performance has actually surprised the street on the upside. What have been the driving factors for the international business this time round, and which geographies do you think have done well for the company?
Yeah, I would say that it doesn't come under the word exports because we have acquired businesses in the Far East, that's particularly Indonesia, which is doing extremely well, and the growth rates are pretty healthy, and we acquired in sometime in the middle of 2010 these businesses in Indonesia. It comprises of household insecticide and certain other baby care products and air care products we have there. All the categories are growing very healthy and the brands are doing well. The market share is improving in this particular region. Now, the other place we have invested is in Africa, pretty healthy growth rate in all the acquired assets there in Africa. And if you look at the Latin America also, we have acquired a business in Argentina and Chile. Both are doing well, and of course the slight amount of dips are there in Argentina, but that's more, we would call it a seasonal within that hair color space in Argentina. But otherwise, even a business like we have a small business in the UK, which is a part of the Europe thing, which is also tracking very well. So all the businesses are healthy. And also we have a fairly structured organization. We have one president, Mr. Shashank Sinha. He is managing that international business very well. And so the organogram is well structured, and the business of coming from outside India, which is only 1/3 of the total business, which is quite healthy, and the growth rates are pretty as per more than our expectation at the moment.
All right, Mr. Mahendran, we leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining in. So that's the word coming in on Godrej Consumer has done pretty well in terms of a performance of the stock price in the past 3 months, along with the FMCG index and a lot of these FMCG stocks such as ITC, HUL, all of them making record highs. So up around 69% this year, 20% in the past 3 months. For the markets, we're stable at this point in time, up around 0.4%. Time for a break. We'll get talking on the F&O space on the other side with Manoj Muralidhar of IIFL.